Welcome to Northwynd 2, episode 22. In this episode, I'm going to be doing Don't Drink the Water in Eveningstar, and I am level 22. We'll start with taking a look at the quests that I've done. Things have been going well since last episode. I did the Shinderland chain, the whole thing. I ended up soloing it. I actually put up a group for the whole chain, but nobody joined me. And I started off with Death Undone on R1, and that went well, but I will say that the orange name cats in there, a couple of them ended up being champions, the ones near the end fight, and those were hitting me really hard. I got a little scary with those guys, but I took care of them. That was the only thing there. And then I did Rusted Blades next. Since that was a shorter one and the previous one on R1 went well, I decided, since it's short, I'll do it on R2. And that went just fine on R2. And the next one was House of Broken Chains. I stepped that one back down to R1s a little bit longer. I knew it had a pretty rowdy end fight, so just wanted to do it R1. Didn't have any problems there. And then did Portal Opens on R1, and again, no problem. I will say that the Battle Masters in Rusted Blades, and I think there are Battle Masters in the other ones too, those were hitting me really hard. In fact, when they were champions, they were hitting me harder than the boss of Rusted Blades, who is traditionally a pretty hard-hitting boss, so, although I was able to handle him just fine. Other than that, I actually farmed a few quests. I'm wanting to get prepared for higher levels. I don't want to wait until level 29 to farm out some of the gear that I know I'm going to want to get. So like the armor and the shield and the sickle that I'm wearing now, I want to get the legendary versions at level 29. So I've already started farming out Madness of Crowds on legendary. I can solo that very easily on legendary normal. It doesn't interrupt my bravery bonus because I already did it, on Reaper during heroics. And actually, I stepped it up to hard even, and then I started farming into the mists because I want to get the legendary Silver Thread Cloak. Also for level 29, I farmed out each of those quests 3 times. With Madness of Crowds, I actually had a couple pugs join me because I put up an LFM for loot farm, but unfortunately did not pull any of the gear that I was looking for. But that will be part of my regular routine when I'm over here because I want to get that stuff farmed out and ready to go by the time I reach that level range. For my Reaper points, still got 8, 4,000 to go, so might be another level or 2. Let's see what else. There's nothing to mention about the wolf spells. Gear, I found a mistake in my gear. Pretty embarrassing, especially considering the effort I put into making it. But I noticed that the Shard of Power, in which I was pretty happy to have, efficient Metamatic maximize, which wouldn't have been my first choice, but it was the best that I could do. I just realized today that I already have efficient Metamagic maximize on my Blurfinger gloves, so those are redundant. So I wish I had changed that to like efficient Metamagic empower, but I definitely don't have. Maybe I could check. Maybe I do have the ingredients to recraft that. I'll have to look into it. We'll see. The torque is the same, but I have it slotted up with the Diamond of Festive Wisdom, too. So that gives a festive bonus. That's a very special bonus that only comes from the Night Revels event. And that's where that augment comes from. Even though Night Revels was active at the beginning of this series, I actually had this from last life as I was farming gear, getting ready for this second series. I saw somebody spamming the trade channels, selling those, and I was able to negotiate a deal, giving that person some of my slaver's ingredients that I knew I wasn't going to use, and so I was happy to have that ready to go. Stick it in my torque at level 22, and this is exactly the way I have this item on my main tune, Gingerspyce. Everything else is the same. I still have the Sapphire False Life 25 in there. I would like to get the 30. I bid on one on the Shard Exchange for 9 shards, but somebody outbid me, so I'll just keep my eyes open. And I was farming Giant Hold to try to get some relics. I'm actually really close. I need a couple more relics, and then I can purchase a Sapphire of False Life 30. So hopefully next video I'll have that. Still got Wisdom 8 and Insightful Evocation 2 on the goggles. I actually am going to craft something for level 23 for here, so excited to share that with you next episode. Scales of the Exile will be the same probably until I get the legendary version. And Epic Brace of the Wind will be the same until I get my ones from Last Life, which are like level 24 or 5 because of the augments in it. The ring is the same. Sheltering 22, Con 9 that I've crafted with Topaz of Evocation slotted in there. I might try to craft something nicer than that. I put a bid on some more essences. I'm so close to being able to craft that top tier of shards, those insightful shards. So I'm going to try. You know, I built up to about 100 shards. And so I actually put a bid on 10,000 Caneth essences for 73 shards. So now I'm down to 15 shards, you can see, because I have 73 tied up in a bid. We'll see if I get those. If I do, I'm going to try to make a push to get a little bit closer to those top tier shards, and you know, maybe I'll be able to craft some really cool things before the series is over. That'd be neat. Treads of Falling Shadow is the same. Just a real convenient place to get striding and ghostly. Great layer of defense. Got some nice dexterity and a mythic boost on there to add some gravy to that item. Blurfinger Gloves is really just about having a source of lesser displacement. Some other goodies on there too. Band of Insightful Commands. You know, it's got a +1 stacking to all stats. That's really what that was about. Stacking Glaciation and Magnetism on the Thrumming Spark Cord. And the Epic Cloak of Flames will be the same until I get my level 24, 25 version that I have left over from Last Life. And it's level 24 or 5 because of the augments that I had stuck in there. So Giant Splatter is the same as I showed you last episode, and so is the Wild Frost. Feats haven't changed for level 22, so let's get to the quest. And we're going to give it a try on Reaper 2. This quest has a sentimental value to me because this was the first quest video that I ever made. It's what started the whole YouTube channel thing that I never intended for it to turn in what it has, but it has been an awesome ride and a lot of fun. But you know, many years ago, I guess going on 5 years ago, because the way that I play the Caster Druid was so different than the way anybody was playing it at the time, which is why I posted my build in the first place, I decided to make a video and show how it played. And this was the quest that I chose. And at the time, you know, on Epic Elite, this was a pretty tough quest still. And I actually did this one in the first series on Epic Elite, you know, that was before Reaper mode. And I did it at level 26, and now I'm level 22, trying it on R2. And I'm going to try just kiting this all together. And we'll see what happens. This is the old school way of doing it, kiting it all together, the old school way that I would do it. And we'll see if I can manage to do that on R2. Now, I was just talking about, I think in a live stream recently, how, or maybe it was the last episode we played Reaper. When Reaper mode first came out, I thought that my playstyle of kiting a bunch of mobs together was over. You know, it just didn't seem like that was going to be possible anymore because these mobs are so much harder hitting. But now that I've gotten used to things, I realized that I can still do that, as I just did. You see, I kite all these mobs again. I realize it's only R2, but at the same time, I'm just a second lifer. I just have 8 Reaper points. If I run Gingerspyce, I'd be comfortable soloing this on R5 and doing just that, or at least on R4. So I'm glad that my favored playstyle of kiting a bunch of mobs together and throwing AoEs down still works. I'm worried about the dragon boss. That's my biggest concern. I should have saved one of those lost souls for after this fight. Yeah, the AoEs are chewing them down nicely. I am taking some hits, but the earthquakes working well. You know, it worked really well in the web flagging chain 2 out there in Shinderland. It's not perfect, but I'm very pleased with how it's performing. Little bonus chest. You know, back in the day when the level cap was 25, you know, these higher level chests were kind of a big deal, and we used to come in here and just farm that chest. You could literally run to that chest, not fight any mobs, and we would farm that just in hopes of getting like a tome or something. We'd come in here and run to that chest, open it, and recall out and do it again. And there was a chest like that in one of the demon web quests that was like that too. It was either Dealing the Demon or Trial by Fury. I can't remember which one. It might have even been the third one. I don't know, but they actually changed because they realized that people were farming those. They actually changed those. Oh, those guys hurt. These orange named champions are painful. So we'll just try knocking them down in the AoEs. Yeah, they like to fall in the earthquakes, don't they? Demon soul, bane of my existence. My little leaves procced on the ground there, telling me I need to recast Spring's Resurgence. Mobs aren't too scary when they're falling in the earthquake, you know. Just gonna lay down the AoEs again. Already got the Sleet Storm off, another Earthquake, a fresh Ice Storm, and another Storm of Vengeance. Let's throw 2 shots of Sunburst to blind them. The Shadow Mark doesn't want to fall. Give me the old Energy Burst. Oh, that didn't look like it hit anything. And just, you know, ping them off with the single target SLAs. One more round of these clowns. I want to get rid of that champion first, so we'll hit him with the SLAs first. Burst all over him. Here's another Sleet Storm. Recast Spring's Resurgence on myself because it just procced. Trying to conserve mana. So let's just finish these guys off with the SLAs. Constantly casting Renewal on myself. Now this one's a self-healer, so this could be tricky. If she doesn't want to fall in the earthquakes and she keeps healing herself, but looks like she's fallen. Let's hit her with all 4 dots. Because we don't want her to just sit there and keep healing herself. That could be a problem. Oh, get stunner? Assault right? No, she wants to stun. Ooh, I'm out of mana. Gotta get the bobble. here? Oh, and there's a Famine Reaper. That's not cool. Alright, just had just enough resources to get to the shrine. I still have my little clickies. Of course, I could have used pots, but I really don't like to use pots in regular questing unless I absolutely have to. Okay. Let's go ahead and buff up. I got some more of these commendations of Valor spell power potions. I had lots of commendations of Valor, so why not? I'm going to use those pretty generously. And you know what? Got a big fight coming, so let's go ahead and top off with Illyri, because we can. I'm going to drink another one of these. Okay, thank you, Illyri. Oh, I guess we killed her outright. We should run back to her tree. Just gonna use the SLAs. I'm not in a hurry to die by that dragon at the end. That dragon's gonna be painful. I'm gonna have to be real careful. I'm really worried about its black dragon bolt. It's able to stun the plant creature with salt, right? So these guys are a little fussy to kite together, so Famine Reaper, put on the Pale Lavender, and we need to get him taken out. Okay. So if you just kind of go in circles for a little bit, you can see they'll start to come together, and we get them where we want them, then we can drop our whole ball of wax. Yeah, I'll take that lost soul. Got, I think I'm over 100%. Yeah, 105 on the Scrolls of Displacement, so... Ooh, double Reaper. Want to get rid of those guys. Ooh, crap. Time to run. Yeah, you know, Plague Reapers can be scary. If you get a big hit on you, you can't heal through it, because they have like a 95% healing debuff that they add onto you. So I wanted to get the hell out of dodge and let that healing debuff wear off. And we got a Soul of Cruelty. That's scary. Let's hit him with some big spells. I hit him with the Greater Creeping Cold. Yeah, getting some hits on me. But stay on top of the healing. So close to getting my next Remnant Tome. Just like a couple hundred remnants short. Let's bring him into our little personal hurricane. Not liking where my mana is, but and I've got one more shrine before the end fight. Good. I almost bought some more of those commendation drafts of sparkling apple cider prior to coming in here, and now I wish I had. At least it gives me a champ chest, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pull Leary back out. And double up on her. Because we need that mana. I'm going to go ahead and hit the little clickies. Because I know I'm going to need all that mana. We'll rest her. And have her juice us up again. Now if you really wanted to be patient, what you could do is just, put her away. And, go have a smoke or get a cup of coffee or something. And then come back 5 minutes later and do this again. But I'm going to see if we can get away without doing that. Still got my bobble too. But I know I've got another orange name up here. Can't remember if there's other fighting in addition to that. More waves of Eonti. Little hidden chest up here. I think there's like a collectible somewhere too. See, collectibles in here. There didn't used to be collectibles in Forgotten Realms quests. So I'm not real good with the locations of them. But I thought I remembered one being there. Somewhere around here. I'm sure I missed others. Don't want to kite roll well, we just dance around in circles until they get to where we want them. Light bear. that guy out. Reaper! Fear Reaper. Woo! What the hell is hitting me? Lost soul. Yeah, I need that. "54 seconds on Illyria." You know what I think I'm gonna do? That's the last round of them. She's active now and she's a light bearer. I think I'm gonna go back and double up on Illyria, so I don't have to drink pots. This is gonna be tight. This is gonna be real tight. 17 seconds. I have to drink another one of these too. It's free mana. And like I've been saying all along in the series, you get your money's worth out of it, and I'm demonstrating that in this episode. This is a nice investment for a caster. It's a lot of free mana. $9.99 for the DDO starter pack. That light bearer champion that I gotta kill before I get that last shrine before the unfight is going to be painful. I'm gonna really need to make sure that she's falling in my earthquake, that she's stunned by my salt rays. If she starts casting a bunch of spells on me, it's gonna hurt. I'm gonna drink a potion of protection from evil too. I don't know if she does command, but just in case. Just in case. Okay, thank you, Illyria. Do another Yugo pot. I'm gonna do my Wisdom Yugo pot too. Spell Power pot. And we're gonna go in with both guns blazing and hope that 962 mana is enough. I'm skeptical. If it isn't, I'm gonna have to drink one of these. We'll drink the Greater Efficacy Potion. 10 hit points. Spell Power Boost. Earthquake. All the dots. Ice Storm, Storm of Vengeance. See, she heals herself like the second she stands up, and that hurts. And then, because she's a light bearer, she gets a free full heal, and that hurts too. I'm almost out of mana. Yep. Gonna have to drink a pot. If she wasn't a light bearer and she didn't get that free heal, I think we would have had enough. But not giving up now. I'm way too emotionally invested in this run. What else am I going to use those pots for, right? Whew, took all of that pot, too. Damn. I'm going to be very put out if I can't finish this now. I'm one pot deep into this. Thankfully, red name bosses cannot be champions. At least I have that going for me. Okay, efficacy potion. Come on, green dragon. This was the first green dragon. DDO. Bring up the examination window. It's really just gonna have to be creeping colds. I can't do the acid dots because it's immune to acid. Get in there with the burst. Another round of creeping colds. And then hit it with the SLAs in between. I think neutralize poison potion will get rid of the dots. So need to stay on top of that. Let's try staying toe to toe with the dragon for a bit. See what happens. Yeah, it does appear to get rid of it. Run by bursting. Well, SLA is Storm of Vengeance. You know, the acid damage not going to do anything to it, but it does do lightning strikes as well. So might as well use it because it's cheap. efficacy pot. Into the spell power boost. Run in with the burst. Oh god. That was close. Now the dragon is very mad. Now I'm going to use my bauble. What sucks is like if it knocks you down when you go to use your bauble and then you lose the charge, that is just awful, especially when you really need it. Another burst. Oh, we're getting close. Might be able to do this without drinking another pot. Woohoo! We did it! Alright. First epic R2 video of the series. That was exciting. Yeah, that was, don't think I could have soloed R3. That, used up all the resources, had some close calls, but hey, we got it done first try. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions about my videos, you can respond on YouTube. And if you have any question about my build, you can respond to my build post in the Druid forum.